John Fredericks Radio Network and the John Fredericks Radio app. Phone lines are open, 888-480-JOHN. We just had a great discussion with Tina Deskovich, and I'm getting sick and tired of the tired, failing, losing Republican talking points about education. We have a failing system, and they think vouchers are the panacea. Charter schools is the answer. Yeah, if you got money, sure. You know who's making money in charter schools? People that start them. They make a lot of money because they're getting taxpayer dollars to fund their schools. Great if you can go there. Not so good, like Tina said, in her failing school in Broward County. Not so good when you can't get transportation there. So you're stuck in the failing school. This is the reality of the situation we're in. Oh, it's the teachers' unions. No, it's not. Yeah, they suck. The big ones. They're not doing anything to help the kids. All about money, democratic politics, and power. We get that. But these are the right-wing talking points about education. Teachers' unions are no good. Department of Education is no good. Teachers are no good. We need vouchers. School choice. School choice is great for the wealthy. Great for the upper middle class. You're in a failing school and you're a one-parent household and you don't have a car and you're working two jobs to put food on the table. This is what you want. Let me just tell you the truth. Here's what you want. You don't want a voucher. What the hell does a voucher do for you? What the hell does a charter school do for you? What good is school choice? No, you don't want any of that. You know what you want? You want to be able to send your children to the school up the street in your neighborhood and have it work. That's what you want. You want them to be taught. And that's where we're failing. And this whole conversation is now elevated to a new level by the president, who has said, hey, we need foreign workers because our kids aren't equipped to, they don't have the skill set. They don't have the education. They don't have this. They don't have that. We need to import foreign workers. I'm opposed to that. But if his argument is we don't have the education to do it right now, I'd have liked him to say, I'm going to invest X dollars in our failing school systems to be sure they have the tools to do it and we get the training programs, rather than just throw up your hands and say, we need foreign students, we need foreign workers to replace our kids. That doesn't feel good to me. It shouldn't feel good to you either. But that's the reality that we're in. And so the conservatives are giving us a lot of talking points that goes into the talking point machine gun, and they just spew it out. It's failed. Anyway, that's my take. Joining us now to debate me on it, I'm sure, is Paul Runko. Let's bring Paul in. Paul's Senior Director of Strategic Initiatives for Defending Education. Paul, good to have you with us.
Hey, good morning, John.
I'm happy they're dismantling the Department of Education. Like, it's a waste of time and money. All it does is like gum the system up. And who cares if they're there? Like, get them out. So I'm with Linda McMahon on it. But you happened to call after my discussion with Tina. And so, I'm not like, I just don't believe, every time we get into this discussion in conservative think tanks, it's, school voucher, school choice, charter schools, that's the answer. And that doesn't help teachers in failing schools. Break this down for us.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we have to have a North Star of what the actual, end goal is. And we at Defending Education say that the end goal should be every student, no matter where you are in the country, no matter what your background is, should be able to read, write, and do math. Every student should be able to do that. And obviously, we're not even close to that. And the COVID pandemic really set us back decades in this fight. But in terms of the Department of Education, I do think that's their North Star. I think they realized that for the last 40 years, the Department of Education at the federal level has gotten us no closer to that goal. And so it's time to think of some new and innovative ways to get students the cash that they need, get teachers the support that they need in order to get towards that goal.
So I mean, I'm glad they're dismantling the Department of Education, but what, in your position, what do you see as the solutions to us falling behind other countries in education, a failing education system in America, without the right wing talking points, which are just they're just so old and stale? What is the solution?
Yeah, the solution has to be parents and grandparents and concerned citizens getting active on the local level. That's where you'll have real change. Uh, Schools spend far too much time on things that are not core academics. We believe at Defending Education that schools are there to teach our children, and everything else is not important and not essential. They should be teaching our kids how to do math, how to read, and how to write. And teachers want that too. Teachers don't really want to be spending class time talking about how you can change your gender, or how you're either an oppressor or an oppressed based on your skin color, or even things like social emotional learning. Mental health should be a parental responsibility, not a school responsibility. And so the solution is getting schools back to their core mission, spending as much instructional time on things like math and science and history, and reading and writing, and everything else can come once we get every student reading and writing.
Let's get to some phone calls. Killer Carl in Allentown, line one. By the way, Carl will be sitting in for me next Wednesday, 6 to 8 a.m. Carl, you're live. You're on with John and Paul Runko.
Good morning, John. Good morning, Paul. Listen, John, as far as charter schools go, I live in Allentown, Pennsylvania. The schools are horrendous. All three of my kids went to charter schools. Now, the way these charter schools work in Pennsylvania, and I'm just speaking for Pennsylvania, is my tax dollars then go to that charter school. They have to provide busing because Allentown is a city. There's no busing. All of my kids have done very well in charter schools. It forces the public school. It forces the public school to have to compete against those charter schools. Now, since we've had them in Allentown, public schools have begun to perform better. So I think there should be options, and I'm a big proponent of charter schools because all three of my kids have went to them and they've done very well, and I think it's made the Allentown School District better.
If I'm in Allentown and I'm in a failing school, does Allentown provide my child with the transportation to get to the charter school?
100%, yes, they do. You got to understand, Allentown is a city. There is no busing. All the schools are in walking distance. There's a school right behind my house, right? So what happens is the school bus that will take the kids to the charter schools picks the kids up in front of the school behind my house. Now, the great thing about these charter schools is, for instance, my daughter went to a medical charter school, right? So you're learning your education, and they're also preparing you for trades in the future. My daughter, Lacey, is a nurse, right? She went to a charter school. She got a job at Lehigh Valley Hospital as a CNA tech. Then she went to nursing school and graduated nursing, and then got a job in Lehigh Valley Hospital in the ICU.
But Allentown, and that's good, and congratulations to Lacey, and looks like you made a good choice. But Allentown is providing the transportation free. So if somebody doesn't have any money, they're working two jobs, they got one car, they can't transport their kids around, they can go to the charter school with a voucher without any money on a bus. Is that my understanding?
100%, and we have multitudes of them out here.
I have no issue. My issue is when I'm stuck in a failing school and I'm told that vouchers are my panacea and I have no way to get there. Allentown has figured it out. Let's get Paul, stay on the line. Let's get to Kit in Pennsylvania, line 2. Kit, you're on with John and Paul Dunko and Killer Carl.
Yeah, John, I just called because when you said something about I listen to you every day. You said something about President Trump throwing more money at a failing system. You sound like a Democrat to me, and I just had to call.
I want to fix the inner city schools. I want to pay teachers more money to go there. I saw this with my own son that could have, he got his master's degree from Reno. from University of Nevada, and Ole Miss had a program. He moved back to put him into a failing school in Mississippi with a bunch of other people, and they got paid more money. And they had to sign a 5-year deal to get it. And so that school went from F to C, and now their kids are getting out and they learned something. So I saw with my own eyes. And so this idea that, that charter schools, what we've fallen into is vouchers are the answer to everything. And they're not if you can't get out. And in Carl's opportunity, they are. I just want to find an answer to a failing school that doesn't involve, I got to send my kids somewhere else. I just want them to go to the school behind my house. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I think charter schools are a part of the answer, and school choice is a part of the answer, but the statistics don't lie, where something north of 80% of American parents will still send their child to the public school that they are zoned for. So
Bingo.
Even if you have a situation where you can send your kid to another school, the children that your child will grow up with and be adults with will all be formed by this system in public schools. So it's been incumbent on all of us to help figure out how do we get students back on the right track and not have their heads filled with ideology all day at school.
I agree with that. Let's get back to teaching, and let's pay teachers what they need to teach and get inspired teachers that are going to, do something with their children and get rid of their bureaucracy. All right, Kit in Pennsylvania, I'll give you the final word on your call. Go ahead, Kit.
Yeah, my thing is not the federal government. My thing is the state did that, and the states are responsible for educating their children, not the federal government. I want them out of it.
Well, that's why they dismantled the Trump administration. President Trump dismantled the Department of Education. And what was it that Linda McMahon said, Paul Dunko, yesterday? She said, we found out during COVID, like we didn't need them. What? It was like a great line. Like, what do they do? Let's just get them out of here.
It's hard to look at the statistics and argue otherwise. So the most recent Nation's report card scores came out this year and showed that a quarter of high school seniors, so students going into college, a quarter of them are proficient in math, and a third of them are proficient in reading. So something's not working. We got to do something new and innovative.
We got to pay teachers to go into failing schools, pay good teachers, give them an incentive to go in there, and the state should be managing it, not the federal government. Killer Carl, final word, and then we got to go. John and Paul Dunko.
Final word for me is everybody needs to go out and get themselves some REM sleep, right? If you want to be sharp like John, go to healthycell.com, use promo code Godzilla, right? Get the focus and mobility, get the focus and recall, and get the REM sleep, and you'll always be on point like John. There you go.
Boom.
Healthycell.com.
Gotta love Killer Carl.
Godzilla.
Love him. Carl, Godzilla, promo code 20% off. Get the best night's sleep ever. Paul, take this. Buy it today, Paul Dunko. You're going to feel like a new man. As soon as it comes, you're going to go in that deep sleep, all natural. Paul, you're going to feel like a new man. You're going to be fired up, baby.
I got 2 young kids. I can all the help I can get.
Killer Carl, thanks for being with us. Kid in Pennsylvania, blasting me for wanting to throw money in education. Come on, kid, we love you. John, you sound like a Democrat. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Kid. Thank you, Paul. Then thank you, Paul, and thank you, Killer Carl. Michael Patrick Leahy. Hey, he just won $10,000. Yes, he's next.